I've gotten something better to drink from. Fatal, how are you? How are you? Where have you been? I've missed you. Hi, Alex. Hi, Martin. My favorites are all here. Hi, Josh. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Yo, Jason. Yo, Matthew. How's my weekend? It's great. It's rainy. You know I'm happy because it's raining. Fatal. Yeah, you should be embarrassed. Aren't you embarrassed? Yeah. We notice, okay? Hi, Diamond. Thank you. How are you? You miss me too? What's been going on, guys? Every week I feel like like so much has changed and I'm like, right, live streams. What is this? Martin, you have to go. Oh, amazing, you're stage managing The Tempest. That's so exciting. That's amazing. I wish I could see it. I love The Tempest. Ugh. And my stream started right when I started. Yeah, I've got really good timing like that. I feel good, guys. I feel like relaxed. Ugh. You ride your motorcycle 600 kilometers. I'm actually trying to figure out like how much that would be. You must feel so free on a bike. You were amazed? Why are you amazed? Of course we notice. Alex, muscle contraction in your foot and now you can't walk properly? Dude, what happened? Which foot? That's important. Which foot? What's the symbolic meaning of this? Your masculine or feminine foot? You wish you had fearlessness? Okay, cool. You already do, you know? You have fearlessness around a lot of things. That's kind of what I want to get at. Like, you have fearlessness probably when it comes to brushing your teeth or like talking to someone you really know really, really well, or I don't know, all the little things that you don't think about, right? Hi, Patu. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Fly of the bird feeling. 6 to 7 hours? 6 to 7 hours. That's a long ride. Don't you get like, maybe it counteracts the thing. Oh, I get sore sitting for that long. maybe that like the wind in your hair, maybe it counteracts it. I think it's like that feeling of wind on your face. There's something about it, isn't there? And like something about wind, the winds. I'm really, really into the English patient right now. So winds. What is it about that? Your right foot. Oh, okay. So your masculine foot. So your masculine foot. Okay. You can't put any pressure on the back of it. Too much stress and caffeine. Say more. Why do you think it's about stress? Why caffeine? And it just happens spontaneously. I'm so sorry. So like you're hobbling around. How are you dealing with that? Hopefully you will someday. Fearlessness? Okay. I think you're well on your way there. Honestly. You seem quite forthcoming. Like you don't really hold back. Yeah, is everyone doing okay? Is there anything... Hi, Andres. Is there anything that you guys would like to talk about before I get into it? Any questions? Any observations? Any exciting things that happened this week? Hi, Adam. What's up? I'm trying to think what I talked about last week. God, that feels a lifetime ago. Yeah, I guess I can't even remember what I talked about last week, but if there's anything like from what I talked about last week that came up for you guys this week. I can't even remember what I talked about though. Because literally I feel like my life is like exponentially speeding up. Yo, Z Legacy, do you plan on voice acting for any upcoming show? Just played Far Cry. Thank you. Yeah, some things are in the works. Part 2. How do you like road trips and have you done any of it? I love road trips. I love road trips. I love all the things that get to happen, that you get to see, that you wouldn't if you just like hop jumped, you know? I love the surprises, the like, where are we? And let's run with it. I love that. There's something about road tripping that like, you can't plan everything. Like you have to go through it. You almost like can't be too intentional with it. And I really like that. You've been to the local Whoa, cool. Who did you meet? The local where's local for you? I've never been to a Comic-Con. I've never been. I've heard they're massive. Fatal. Literally, I'm like, who was I last week? I don't know what that means. Who was I last week? Alex, how do I emotionally and practically handle a big project with a tight deadline where you have to do a lot in a limited amount of time and you can't afford to rest much? Rest much. Okay, so this is like the stress you've been talking about. OMG, sorry. That's your right foot. I'm just thinking about that. What do I do? Emotionally and practically. Time is interesting. Time works differently for different people. Okay. Like, yeah, I'm talking about a week. So you have like an understanding of like how much time you need in order to do things, or like how time works for you, or how quickly time goes by, or how quickly you operate within that set amount of time, right? Like you already have kind of assumptions about time. And you get to make the rules for that. If you think that like it's going to take a certain amount of time, it probably will be. That's like Parkinson's law. The amount of time that something takes is like the amount of time that you have. So if you have 3 months to finish a project, it will take you 3 months. It will take you 3 months. You will use up all of that time. And if you have 3 minutes to finish something, it will take you 3 minutes because that's what you have. You'll use what you have. So I would actually say, like, first of all, there's something interesting in like your phrasing of it, like, I can't afford to rest much. So you're like predetermining that like with what you, it's almost like money, right? Like time is money, and you're like, I can't afford the time I need to rest. But what if you could? What if actually you do have enough time to get everything done and rest? And like, I'm not gonna argue about it, but like, what if that actually was your reality? What if like you actually were able to do it in less time than you think, and you were afforded that time to rest, and you could do both? And that maybe like the rest even makes everything go smoother and faster. It's a different way to think about rest. So first of all, just like check your assumptions about how you think time works for you, or how quickly you think you're actually able to get something done. And even like, look at the things that you think you have to do in order to complete that. Are there things that actually you don't have to do? Just start thinking about like, what if this didn't take as long as I thought it would, or what if this was easier again, or like, what if I actually do have enough time? Because there's like some people who are super, 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 super efficient. And I would actually say, like there's really some truth to like, if you want something done, ask someone who doesn't have the time. Because people who are busy and their calendar is packed, they're super efficient. They get stuff done. It's almost like the busier you are, the more capable you are of getting things done. And you get in the habit of just like being effective in that way and making things happen. So who would you have to be to like be someone who just like produces in a short amount of time? And if it takes you a certain, I mean, this is like kind of like looking forward in the future, like if you become aware more of like where you actually are wasting time, or like stalling, or like just thinking it's more complicated, thinking like you have to go over things that you don't actually have to. Why are you doing that? Why are you like adding these breaks in a certain way? So that's like a whole lot of things. I would also just say like, you could also just say, this is going to be an intense period and I can handle it, and I'm going to rest after. And I wonder if that's what's happening with your foot. It sounds like you went through a period of stress, and like maybe now you're like, okay, I literally need to put on the brake because that was a lot. So yeah, now I have a foot thing. Now I can't. Now my body is gonna like slow me down. Hi, Devorniel. Dodge this. Thanks, dodge this. Budapest. What? Oh, that must have been amazing. Wow, that's so great. Did you get like autographs? Did you dress up? What did you do, Adam? Make my own rules for everything. You have that too. Like, I don't know if you realize, like, your rules, even if they're like other people's rules, if you follow them, they're your rules. So yeah, make your own rules. Make your own. And look at the rules that you have and see if you actually prefer them or agree with them. And also get curious about other people's rules and the way that they think about things. Do I still do live streams on Wednesdays? I haven't been. I've just been so busy, and yeah, I just decided maybe for the summer I don't do the live streams on Wednesdays. I don't have any behind the scenes of Far Cry. Maybe it's out there somewhere. I was talking about the director's praise. Sorry, that sounds. Okay, but I like how you phrased that, Alex. Yeah. To control my reality, get more curious about like controlling your perceptions, or not. Like, don't worry so much about the reality thing. I would actually say. I would say get really curious about controlling the way that you perceive and take in your reality. Get curious about yourself. Don't, like, the whole point is like this, not so much what's out there. Does that make sense? The whole point is you. And that in contrast feels really doable, right? Like, I don't know if I can control that, but this, like, literally in a second, can I think about this differently? Yes. And what if that's actually all it takes? Someone brought up like a really good analogy of like, imagine that the thing that you want, maybe you're like trying to manifest or whatever, is literally in the room with you, like right now. It's like literally there. It's just for whatever reason, you're not aware of it because you haven't thought to look in that corner. You know, like how we're just like not aware of cobwebs or something because we don't like make it a habit of checking. So imagine it's something like that. Like literally the thing is there. You just have never looked in that direction. Oh, right. Josh, I think what I need to do, oh wait, community moderation. Yeah, I think I just need to add your YouTube username on my end, and then you should be good to go. So I'll look into that, okay? I'll try to do that right after the live. Thank you so much for offering. I really appreciate it. Hey Waleed, how are you? I wanted to ask you something, but I won't. I won't put you on the spot. Will I put you on the spot? Forever ago, I remember you were going on a date. How did that date go? Whoa. Dvornyal, you're from Budapest? Thank you. I love this t-shirt. Your reality hurts too much. I'm going to try to help out with that. Okay? I'm going to try to help out with that. And it's not your fault. Have I ever been to Hungary? I almost went to Hungary. I know that sounds like weird. I almost got to shoot something out of there, and then I took a different job. So I still have to go. I really, really want to go. Dedication for a personal and a photo. Yes, I guess the photos are the most valuable. That's very, very cool. You're not being depressing. You're being honest. Thank you. Okay. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about actually that you're like, my reality hurts too much. I want to talk about that. That's such a statement. Something like, again, I mean it when I say like every week I'm like, who am I? Cause I feel like I'm just shedding some things. And it really is that. It's like there really is truth to discovering that there's actually nothing you need to add on. There's just stuff you need to let go. That like everything wants to get to you, and you're just holding on to things that you've outgrown, and that's actually where the pain comes from. There's something that like you're holding on to that kept you alive in that moment, that seemed to ensure your survival, and now new life wants to come in, and you're sticking to tactics that no longer have basis in like your current day. So it really, 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 really can seem like what is wrong, whatever that means, what is wrong in your reality, like it hurting, is that the reality actually is hurting you. Like it's doing it to you. It is hurting you. Or it is wrong. It is wrong, and you need to fight against it. You need to do something against it. You need to protect yourself against it, or you need to retaliate in some way, or you need to escape it, or you need to hide from it. But that's all just creating more of it. And you're really believing in its intrinsic value, its intrinsic like reality, worth, like power, its substantiality versus your own. And it's reflecting you. It's reflecting you. And what is hurting? Everything is meaningless, guys. Everything actually is meaningless. Nothing actually can stick its claws into you unless you've given it access in a way. Unless you've given it meaning and relationship to you. And it's not logical. Like, as much as possible, I would like get you to think outside of logic, because logic is another way of trying to control and trying to reason with and trying to stay safe in a way, trying to understand, trying to scan, trying to like put all the pieces together. But what if that's not your job? And there's like something deeper that's like, I'm just gonna let it go. I'm not gonna fight anymore. I'm not gonna fight this anymore. I'm not gonna try to outsmart it, outprove it, out earn it, out whatever. It doesn't actually have power. So I wanted to talk about fear. and fearlessness, because fearlessness is kind of like it doesn't even make sense that it's a word in a way, because fearlessness is the absence of fear, and as soon as you're aware of fear, like there's no longer an absence of it. So that's what I mean about like you have fearlessness around things you don't even consider in that arena. You have fearlessness about like when you're alone in your room and no one's there, you're fearless about being yourself. Chances are you're like fearlessly authentic, honestly, when no one's there, right? Or you're like fearless about like taking a shower, or like you're fearless about walking down the street, or riding a bike, or riding a motorcycle, or driving a car, or playing piano, or like think of all the things that you do just naturally, sans fear. And the only reason is because like literally it doesn't occur to you to be afraid of that. It doesn't occur to you. There's nothing like dangerous that you perceive about it. So you don't have to overcome anything. You don't have to like adjust your thinking or adjust yourself or like grit your teeth or get through it. There's just like openness, isn't there? There's just like the space to do it. And when there is fear, it's like you're trying to pass through a narrow tunnel and there's things on the side. There's lots of thoughts and considerations that are trying to get at you, and you're having to like slip through and somehow do the thing while all these things are vying for your attention. The reason I wanted to talk about this actually was because someone brought up Free Solo. Have you guys seen that documentary? It's about what's his name? Alex Humboldt? Is that a figurine? Alex. It's about Alex. Oh my god. It's about Alex climb free soloing El Capitan in Yosemite. Right? And like a lot of prep work obviously goes into that, and a lot of the consideration is like eliminating the distractions, the fears beforehand, so that in the moment he's able to just climb, because that's what he has to do in order to like get to the top and survive. That is literally, he has to not have any fear that might try to get in and distract him and like cause him to slip up or anything of that. Like he literally can't afford it. Right? Yeah, and it got me thinking about Orpheus and Eurydice, if you guys know that myth, and I can talk about that myth. And it got me thinking about how actually, strangely, like paradoxically, you are safest when you ignore the dangers. You are safest when those aren't present for you. You know what I mean? He is safest when he is not considering falling to his death. The man on wire guy, he is safest when he is not considering how small that wire is across the two towers. You are safest when you're not considering like all the ways you might crash in traffic. You're a better driver. You are a better driver, literally. You are safest when you're not thinking what someone thinks about you in an interaction or in a performance. You're safest when you're not thinking about how you're being perceived, or whether you're hitting your marks or doing all the right things. You're safest when you're not taken up with the considerations of what could happen if it isn't going according to plan. But I think that like a lot of the ways that people live their lives is like they really buy into fear as protection. They really do. And they feel like, no, if I didn't consider these things, I'm being negligent and I'm being unsafe. And it's the opposite. If you think of that analogy of like free soloing, he's safest when he is just in it. You are safest when you are just in it. The road trip exists so that you just stay the course and you let things happen and you let beautiful things happen and you stay in it and you trust that, yes, if I just keep going west, I will get west. And I know that, like, oh, it's like life or death for, I hope you guys understand what I mean when I say free soloing, meaning like he's climbing but without ropes. It's just him and a little bit of chalk on his fingertips. That's obviously like life or death, right? But fear, like the way that it presents in the body when it comes to stress, you logically might not think of it as life or death, but your system recognizes it as life or death. So, like, think of all those little moments where, again, like, you bring the fear into the moment thinking it's like, oh, I really need this. Like, I'm going to do a presentation or I'm going to, like, talk to a stranger. And I really need to bring this thing in of, like, am I speaking well? Am I coming across well? Am I being, like, really, am I doing the things like the checklist? And like we think that our like hypervigilance in that moment, yes, 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 I'm being good in that moment. And the truth is, like, you're scared. That's why you're doing all of that. That's why you're bringing all of that in, because you're trying to survive it. And then you ask, like, why is it exhausting for me to be around people? Because you're doing so much because you think you have to, because you think the fear and the doing, addressing the fear, is the safest course of action. The safest course of action is actually like just being in it. Just being in it. And trusting that the words will come, the moments will come, the things will come, that you can handle it. I was also thinking about this, like, people underestimate actually their ability to handle things in the moment. In the moment, everything is manageable. Beforehand, though, you underestimate like what you're actually capable of, and like how it actually will feel and whether you'll be okay with it. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I kind of like love confrontation because it cancels out like my when I'm in it, I'm like, oh, I totally know how to speak to people. I'm so good at like I'm so good at saying maybe difficult things. And this feels so much better than the trying to like avoid it. Like, you guys you're good at handling things. You're really strong. You're really resilient. You're really capable. It's not as scary as you think it is. And it is infinitely less scary when in the moment of you doing it, you just give yourself over to it. And I know that sounds funny, but like the way that I've literally experienced it is it's very much a choice. Like, there's like fear and like we're gonna put up walls and we're gonna like try to muscle through this, and it literally does seem like it's a choice to just be like, no. I'm not gonna do that work. I'm not gonna try. I'm just gonna like trust myself and my instincts. That's actually the best course of that's the best course of action. In the moment, in a way, I really mean this, like, your safest course of action is just giving yourself over to it. That doesn't mean that you can't plan in advance and you can't like address the fears that are maybe there for you in advance so that you do away with those. Plan in advance. But when you're there, when you're in the moment, be in the moment. Be with them. And again, I really think of this like a creative project. When I'm writing, when I'm acting, when I'm singing, the safest place is for you to just be in it. You can't really do it unless you're in it. And sometimes you don't know where you are and you make meaning out of that, and you get scared of like, is it working? And again, you just come back to like it. Just come back to it and trust. Let yourself create something. Let yourself go through it. Let yourself trust that like it will carry you. You don't have to carry it. That you have all the charisma, all the confidence, all the likability, all the lovability, all the like, that you actually have everything. You have everything you need for every interaction, for every situation. You actually have it. You have it. And the thing that is getting in the way are the considerations and the ways that you keep trying to like dodge it or control it. Um, yeah, it really is about getting to a place of neutrality with most things. That's where freedom is actually like in the neutral, when you don't have anything about it. So with the Man on Wire, I like to think about this all the time because so the way that you like start, what's it called? Like wire walking, is that it? The way that you start, and if you think about this, like literally moving from point A to point B on like solid ground is easy, and you do a straight line, no problem, because there's no consideration of you falling, right? But then slowly you take away the surface, and suddenly there's more consideration of what might happen. But the action itself, the walking across a straight line, stays the same, right? So it's all in your meaning and your considerations and your like, and the fear, right? So if you see that as true for everything, that it's your considerations and you're trying, like you're resisting against an outcome that you don't want, that's actually like pulling you towards that outcome possibly. And at the worst case, or like at the very least, it's the thing getting in the way of you going to point B. All those considerations. The safest place for you to be is just in it. And I guess bringing that back to that statement, like my reality hurts me. Like what if what's hurting is like thrashing against the waters, right? What's hurting is feeling like you're not enough to handle it, or like you're not enough, or you're failing, or there's something wrong about you, or there's something wrong about it, or all of those things that actually are existing on like a very illogical space. Because reality actually like isn't like this moment right now, like you're okay. Aren't you? Aren't you actually like perfectly okay? And I'd say like look at the places where you're fearless, where you're neutral, where there's nothing. And then look at the places where you have lots of considerations and lots of fears. And try to bridge those. Try to see like what would happen if talking to that person felt like talking to this other person. What would happen? What do I think would happen? What am I afraid would happen if I was like really relaxed about it and didn't protect myself in that same way? Where am I believing that like fear is keeping me afloat? The same way that I practice in my room alone when no one is there. What would happen I played like that in front of others, or whatever it is. It's not so much about becoming fearless, like, which we think is like bravery. Bravery is good for getting over hurdles, but actually the reason to be brave is to see that there was nothing to be afraid of in the first place. That actually the thing itself is pretty simple. That actually you're okay and you can handle it and you're enough and all of the things. Okay. Hi, Matrix Man. Hi, Bronislav. I look younger every time you see me. I did, Alex. Thank you. I loved it. How did you find that? How did you find that poem? You should post it. Maybe I will. You bought your dog a woven squirrel toy? That's really cute. Guys, I found a baby bird on the side of the road today. He was just like, like on the grass. This baby bird with, like baby birds, how their mouths are like origami. What? And God, I didn't know what to do. Suddenly I flash forward to like this image of me becoming like a whoa, I have a child now. I have a child now. I have to take it home, raise it, send it off to school. I'm gonna have to teach it how to fly somehow. But I think its mother was nearby, so I was able to leave it. He was learning how to fly. That's what was going on. Listen, I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna share it to everyone. The squirrel. Oh, okay. It was remixed into a song. That's really cool. Okay. I haven't eaten yet today. I'm looking forward to food. I actually have nothing to eat. That's not true. What should I eat? I'm trying to eat more, guys. It's hard. It kind of is. Okay. Oh, really? Okay, I'm gonna look for that. I love when poetry is spoken by the author. I love the cadence and rhythm that they find. I love spoken poetry. Ugh. Hi, Vicky. This channel is about, what's it about? It's about self-transformation, I'll say. Hi, San. Thank you. There's a poet I really like called Robert Bly, and he reads a lot of his poetry. Oh my God. I love it so much. And I love, like, I mean, it's like singing, right? But I love seeing the author, like, find the meaning to the words that he put down in the moment. Maybe he's read it like 10 million times, but it still feels like he's uncovering something in the words. A muffin and pickles? Like together? What kind of muffin? Okay, thank you. Yeah, I feel like that's what the channel's about. The channel's about what's it all about. I don't think I can describe it better than that. Was out of chips. I mean, I still need to I still need to know, like, was it like, like, I will cut my muffin and add a sliced pickle. Was it like muffin pickle? Was it like muffin? Time for some pickle. These are things I need to know. Oh, happy anniversary to your folks. Okay, I'm gonna go. Shoot, I need to sneeze. Oh no. Okay. I'm gonna go. I love you guys so much. I hope you have a beautiful day. I hope you realize how extraordinary you all are. I hope you appreciate yourselves today. Appreciate, like, how hard you're always trying. How you're always trying to be a little bit better. Do things a little bit better. How you're trying to be, like, loving and supportive and caring always. And, like, think about that. Like, think about all the good you're constantly trying to do. And the love that's constantly there. And the care. Even when it seems like a struggle, there's so much good always happening. Okay? I love you guys so much. Josh, and I'll add you to the mod and I'll email you when that's done, okay? Okay. 39 years! Okay. Let's hear for Fatal's parents. Hi, Immune Cookie. Hi. I'm just leaving.